Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about UCaaS, or Unified Communications as a Service. UCaaS basically replaces your on-prem phone system and turns it into a complete communication solution in the cloud. It changes the expense from a capital expense to an operating expense. So today we have the legend, Mr. Alan Kaplan, with us today to talk a little bit about the Broadvoice UCaaS solution and UCaaS in general. So thanks for joining us, Cap.
Thanks, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Good. So Cap, why don't you explain a little bit about the features of UCaaS?
All right. So not just featuring Broadvoice, but featuring computers nationwide and what they do. One of the nice things about using UCaaS or voice over IP is not only the ease of use, but its implementation. One of the things you get rid of are obviously the maintenance agreements, but they have at least 500 features with all companies that come with a lot of UCaaS companies. And some of them are the mobility app, the ability to use soft phones from any computer to be reached anywhere you want in the world. It lowers the cost of making calls nationwide, even internationally, and even local calls. So it makes that easier to use. Also, one of the things I think that it brings into it is the ability to do Zoom type of meetings or high definition meetings and sharing collaboration. So it all gets together in that, including integrations, and if you have open APIs with Salesforce. There's a few others that are out there, but the main one, and then for dental companies, Dentrix and things like that. So I think what you'll find with it is it takes your cell phone, it puts it on your desktop, it puts it in your home office, so it allows you to be more connected with the people and your customer, and it allows for instantaneous communications.
Well, some great features there with UCaaS. So everybody is switching to UCaaS. So how does Broadvoice stand out over the competition?
Let me back it up for a minute. So something that you should know. Right now, in 2020, and I've been forecasting this for a few years, it is going to be a $40 billion industry. By 2024, it'll be a $150 billion industry. And something, Mike, that you said that I think is really important is capital expenditures. I'm not an expert, obviously, when it comes to running your business, but what it does say to you is you get a one-time government, hey, thank you very much for doing a capital expenditure. When you're using an operating expenditure, you're getting that every year. So the cost savings comes into that effect as well. You're not buying the equipment. You can, if you want to, you can obviously buy the phones, you can rent the phones. And there are programs even out there for everybody to, special programs that are put in place. But that's huge for you to know, hey, my investment is going to always be upgraded. It's always changing. The upgrades are done instantaneously. Most of the companies that do it that way, and they run it right through the systems. They don't do it during the day, so there's no downtime to it at all. So I think that's something that you should look at. So
Cool. Good advice. So Broadvoice. So I hear this year you guys have made some moves in management. I just want to talk a little about the new people that you guys have at Broadvoice.
I do. So we've had some changes in it. We brought in a senior VP for the sales and the marketing. We've put in a new CEO, although our old CEO just moved over to make sure that we follow the network and keep everything updated. Herb Piles is our new COO, and his job is to make sure customer satisfaction. He's revamping implementation. He's revamping customer service. He's revamping even the sales end of it. So that's a big play for us. We're bringing in two area sales managers or area VPs, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast. We're also hiring somebody to handle all the customer relationships with the master agents and the agents. So that's all taking place right now. So
Yeah, that's great. So talk about the UCaaS solution. What are some plans for 2020 for Broadvoice on the solution itself?
So we're bringing in, we're offering our collaboration. We're doing call recording, and we're going to be looking at being able to do not just call recording, but doing it at real time where you can turn it on and off at certain specific times if need be. We're looking into new marketing and new areas to work in. One of the obviously the vertical markets for us are important. So lawyers, doctors, school districts. We've opened up the school districts, huge, insurance companies. So we're moving upstream. We're one of those companies that a sweet spot for us would be anywhere from 20 seats to 250, 500 seats. But we're now finding that we're probably doing about 20% going into the bigger applications, 750 to 2,000 seat type of applications. We're not a fit for everybody, and we know it, and we'll tell you right up front that we're not. But we want to talk to you first before we say no.
Great. So how does Broadvoice handle remote users?
Asking in a perfect example is I'm a remote user. My office, my central office and corporate is in Northridge, California, and in Utah. I work in Wheeling, Illinois, out of my office. I have 2 phones sitting on my desk. The reason why I have 2 phones is because I use 2 different types of phones, and I want to always be testing them. I actually have a phone sitting here right in your office, so when I go visit people like yourselves, I can stay in your office, work there all day, and communicate with you, and I never lose sight or talking to people because of the ability to get a hold of me anytime you want. The mobility app is real important because if the phone rings, I make sure that I can be found if I'm in my car, so it responds to me that way and I'm able to talk to people. It also allows me to know that it's an office calling instead of a personal call. It also allows me to call out from that phone, and I'm not giving up my cell phone information. I'm just giving my office phone information. So working here, I could spend a day here, I could spend a week here. Nobody knows I'm out of the office or not. So.
Great. There you go. Some great information from the Hawaiian legend, Mr. Alan Kaplan, about UCaaS in general and Broadvoice.
I want to say one last thing to all of you about going into the cloud services, and it isn't just for Broadvoice. There's 500 good companies out there. They're all doing good jobs. I don't look at competition being not good and healthy for the industry, but if you're not looking to move upstream, your competition is doing it, and the minute they do that, you're opening up a door for them to take away your business. It's important that you follow what's going on in communications, and Computers Nationwide is doing it right, so thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks.
There you go. If you're looking for either Broadvoice UCaaS solution or UCaaS in general, give us a call or check us out at computersnationwide.com. Thank you.